Hi everyone, this is my working wall. Unfortunately, it's pretty much right on my bed because I live in a very small apartment in Boston, so this is as good as it's going to get for now. So I started with putting up the design brief, which is the starter of everything, as well as the map. I put those up at the same time because I knew the locations I wanted to look at, and the design brief was the foundation for everything that was going to happen from here. So from there, I posted up the interview questions, and I'm missing a picture of Stacy Hendrickson, the art teacher in a small town community down south. But up here, I have Brett Dixon and Ashley Talcott. They're both one's 30 and one's 25, so they're in the same demographic, but one lives in New York City and one lives in a small town outside of Boston. They both make substantially different money and have very, very different lifestyles and eating habits. So I found that very interesting. One takes the train and one has food delivered. There was a lot of interesting insights from there. So this week I mainly started to look at these four places, which is Stop and Shop, Trader Joe's, Foodies Market, and Shaw's. And although we're focusing on shopping carts, I really thought that we needed to get the history down from each of these places before we delve into the specifics. We need to know why that these are popular places and why people need carts and why people even want to, be there. So, every pink card is background information. When it was founded, how many stores in total, what type of store it is, and where it was founded. Most of these, keep in mind, are in New England because that is where I am from. As you can see, Foodies is really small. It's just the Boston store. They only have 4 locations, so that's very different compared to Trader Joe's, which is now a huge conglomerate. It's a health food store. It's like a little smaller than Whole Foods and much, much more affordable. And then we have Stop and Shop, which is a little more widespread than New England, but it's also pretty much in the Northeast. The next thing I did was I chose to put all the pros and cons based on the research that I have on my computer, but I just took the snippets for each one. So the greens are all the good things about each one, and the blue are all the negative. For Foodie, since it's so small and there's not that big of an audience that goes there, I connected it with green and blue tape to other ones. So for example, Foodies Market, negative, which is blue. It is cramped and has smaller spaces and has small carts. But then again, for something that's good, it definitely is less money and they don't spend as much money on marketing. So even their shopping carts don't have any sort of branding on them. Whereas Stop and Shop pays a lot of money for their marketing. Finally, I added quotes from the 3 interviewees that I had. I asked them about each store, and fortunately, they had all been to every single one, apart from Stacy, who was not featured. She had never been to Foodies, but I put their initials in the corner and things that they would have said. For example, people love the carts at Shaw's, but they would never try a food sample. Whereas at Trader Joe's, the organic store, they would always try a food sample and most likely would try and purchase that. Great wayfinding. It seems like Stop and Shop tends to offer a lot more perks. They have on-site fuel facilities, handheld scanners. They have they still offer loyalty cards. Things like Foodies, although it doesn't appear that way, it seemed like they had a huge clientele based on all of their good feedback. I mean, the negatives aren't even that negative. Yes, it's small, but it also has a smaller customer base. This week I hope to add in a couple more stores. I'm also going to add in a little bit more, research to dive in deeper into this stuff. I'm going to focus more on the specific carts at each location, so I'll add some photos, and I'm actually going to get a couple more interviewees. I would like to get the employees of each place and maybe even talk to the managers about how they do their marketing and how they choose their products, because places like Foodies are vendors for places local in Boston, and I wonder how they choose their products, and maybe that's why that people go there. So look forward to next week, where I'm going to add in some more locations, more feedback, and mostly stats and descriptions based on the shopping carts.